Dun, 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 dun.
And we're back. Ah,
Hello. Welcome to week one. But week two of, but week one rundown, Britball season. I'm Oz. He's
I'm
Micah.
Micah.
You're up the top today.
Yes, and I like it because I came in early.
Yeah. You're large and in charge.
Oh gosh, but no, what a week! Week one was for sure.
Oh,
Um,
mate. We had some I don't
in,
it's very weird. Like, we're only week one, so I don't really want to say we had some upsets, but I do think we did have some upsets.
yeah,
We only had probably, I would say, two blowouts. I reckon maybe three blowouts. Like 35 and above is a blowout. I reckon. So we had
yes,
four blowouts. Actually, I've just
for
seen the blitz beat.
yeah,
Yeah, four blowouts. Some really tight games and some terrible opinions from you and I, which people are gonna get up in arms about. But that's what happens.
we did have 4 shutouts this week as well.
And
So,
yeah, so with the four shutouts, the four blowouts, I don't know if they were, because I think
uh,
no, Mersey rule scored 7.
no, there were three. The three of them were actually, yeah, three of them were blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was your weekend, my man? How was your weekend? Right, we'll start it off. We'll start it off with Micah's recap. So Micah, you were at a game this weekend, this Sunday, yesterday. G'day, Gary. How you doing, mate? You were at a game this Saturday.
Yes.
And how was which game were you at? Tell us which game were you at and how was it?
So I travelled over to should I say the posh side of England? Nah, I travelled over to Cambridge. I went and watched the Cambridge versus London Blitz game. And you know what? After everything that happened during the off season, I wasn't really expecting it to be such the type of game that it was. It
Right,
turned out to be a very competitive game. Um, the game actually it was it was back and forth.
right.
With all the players that Cambridge had kept, and obviously with the transfers that they had come over to them as well, you'd expect it to be such a blowout, and I didn't expect Blitz to put up such a fight. But
Right.
boy,
Okay.
was I wrong. Oh, I was wrong. And the game finished by 6 points. A 6 points difference. So
Yeah, so
Blitz,
final score was 34 to 28
yeah,
in favor of the Cats over the Blitz.
yeah.
First ever win, I believe, for the Cats over the Blitz. I don't think they've ever beaten the Blitz before.
No.
So shout out to them. Big win for Cambridgeshire. Puts them tied for top of the table in the Prem.
Yes. Yes. And funny enough, they're not top because of points difference.
Yeah, points
Which
difference for Hertfordshire.
which is
Yeah.
crazy, right?
Especially when the team that beat you only had 4 more points and points difference. So there was a 6 point difference in this game, 10 point difference in the other one. But we'll talk about that game a little bit later on.
Yes. But overall, that was a really exciting game, and crazy enough, Blitz actually probably will be a team that could potentially fight to stay up, of course. And I think once they sort of get things going, because there were a lot of penalties in that game. Blitz had 14 penalties worth over 99 yards.
Jeez.
Yeah, Cambridge. And what happened with some of these penalties is that they came at such a crucial time. It was like fourth and 5, and a linebacker went offside. It was second and 8, and a D lineman jumped. There were so many crucial moments where they could have just gotten the ball back, but instead they gave Cambridge a new first down. So there's a lot of things that they still need to work on. But it'll be interesting to see what they do because their next game is Solent. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens there.
Okay, cool. So why don't you tell me about what your expectations were going into the game? So obviously, historically speaking, the London Blitz, you would say, when they played the Cats last year, they I think there was one competitive game, and the second one, the Blitz paddled their bums, if I remember rightly.
I remember Cambridge scored first last year, and then we sort of shut it down. The defense sort of shut it down, and then we
Yeah.
sort of took it over after that.
So that defense is now gone. That defense
Yes.
doesn't belong to the
That
Blitz
defense
anymore.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, that defense had a bye week this week. They got the week off. So expectations going into the game. I've had a look back through our predictions. You picked the Blitz. I had the Cats. You had the Blitz.
Yeah.
At which was
Interesting compared to what I had picked.
Yeah. But it's I can see why you would go that way because we have historical evidence that the Blitz would sort of bounce back.
Yeah.
What was different about this Blitz team that you saw that from the Blitz teams of bygones by bygones?
So they still. Not saying that the old Blitz didn't fight when it came to certain parts of the game where we either had the game was out of the done and dusted, like everyone sort of just took their foot off the pedal and everyone sort of relaxed. But I feel like this Blitz now, from what I was expecting when I traveled up, I expected it's gonna be a Cats blowout. I'll be on the way home before the Arsenal game kicks off at 4:30. That's what
you were looking for double disappointment then.
That's what I was expecting. Yeah, well, yeah. Ideally, I wasn't expecting much. I'll be 100% honest.
Okay.
I said it yesterday. I said it yesterday to everybody yesterday as well. I did not expect this type of game to have shown at all. So for me, it was just like a real shock, and I think the 100+ people that were there watching as well were actually they had a fun time because it wasn't a game of okay, score. Cambridge ran away with it, and then that's it. It was consistently back and forth, and apart from the little minor odd mistake and the weird play calling,
and obviously the refs having to put their imprint on the game. If we got 14 for the Blitz, and I think I saw someone say that the Cats were pushing double-digit penalties from themselves as well.
Not from what I saw by the stats. From what I saw by the stats, that the Cambridge only had like 5.
Okay, cool. That's not too bad. But still, if we're looking close to a 20 penalty game, that's some big impact from the guys in the black and white stripes.
True, but I do feel the refs did have a good game yesterday. The refs definitely had a good game because all the penalties, most of them were penalties. Yeah.
So it's just we're talking sloppy play then from the Blitz, just like assuredly if they're getting 14 on them and the majority of them are warranted.
Yeah, and most of them were on the defensive side, so it was a lot of offsides and just jumping. And
so do you reckon it could be sort of young guys that haven't had a lot of playtime historically? Because I would assume that defense that's jumped to the Warriors would predominantly the defense that the Blitz have rolled out for the last sort of 2, 3, 5 years.
Yeah. So it's they're a whole new team. Once again, it's a whole new team. It's a whole new defense. It's a whole new offense. So I guess they just got to get time to push everything together. So again, the next game will be very interesting to see what happens. They play Solid in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So let's see what happens with that one. But yeah.
So enough about the Blitz for a second. This is huge for Cambridgeshire. Like
it's massive.
Big win, big first win of the season, off to a strong start. Because the thing is, one of the other teams that you were going to be battling with for, I'd say, mid-table was the Blitz. Hertfordshire's the other one. Hertfordshire comes off a strong victory over Solent. So at the moment, we said that we were assuming that Solent was going to be the team fighting for relegation or even going to be relegated this year. It still looks that way at this moment, but this is a massive win for the Cats. Congratulations, Cambridgeshire. Well, where's the camera? Well deserved. Big ups for you boys. 6-point win, 30-point win, doesn't matter. Always good to get that first one ever over the Blitz. And so we've just said that I think the next game to cover has to be Norwich Devils against Blitz B.
But no, for Cambridge, they have a very big roster. Big roster.
Yeah. Well, it looks like the Blitz do too, because 16 came up from the Blitz B team.
Cambridge, they had like 15 D linemen.
15 good rotation.
15 D linemen. So it was just like I remember walking over towards the line and I saw them doing their warm-ups, and I was like, is this the offensive? No, that's D-line. Oh, why is there so many? I was like, okay,
Aaron.
fair enough. Cats among the pitch. Oh, Lord.
God damn it, Aaron. Right. Okay. Well, we might as well continue on with the. Have you figured out where you're going next week? Like, can we give people a preview? Where are you going to be next week?
So next week, I had a look at the fixtures, and I am going back to Cambridge.
Oh, you're gonna be doubling up.
Yes. So it is Cambridge versus Bristol Aztecs.
Oh, okay, okay.
And no shade, but after that Saturday preseason game, I think that will probably be the best game to go look at.
Okay, so that's yeah. Before we sort of skip over that, obviously Bristol had their preseason game against a team from Amsterdam.
Yes.
Had a majority of the team had a 17-hour coach ride from Bristol across to Amsterdam. Jesus Christ.
that is a factor that has to be put into it.
Mate, yeah, well, exactly. That's the thing. You know, 17-hour coach ride to then go play a game,
and then have to,
and then have to travel back. So definitely got to factor that in.
Exactly.
I know nothing about Dutch football, so I have no idea the quality. But I mean, we know the quality of Bristol. We watched it last year, and with how their teams performed in how the Bristol region teams performed in the Uniball season this year, you can assume that they will still have a very, very strong team. So maybe it was. I mean, I didn't watch the stream. I don't know if you did, but it could have been a blooding of new players for all we know, trying to get people some minutes or something. I don't know.
So that is the question, because from what I believe is that Bristol's OC was actually in Spain as well with the women. So again, we don't know if they just went with a quiet team or the offensive plays weren't going to be too massive.
So we've just got a couple of comments here. So Carl's just told us that the Crusaders are a serious outfit, great team, have been for ages. I've never heard of them, so I'm not going to comment on them. And then Phil says that it looks like they were light on personnel, so it might have been sort of some rotational issues and stuff. But still, big ups for the boys. 17-hour coach ride.
That's a lot.
Jesus.
That is a very, very long drive.
And now Kwame. Hello, Kwame. How was your loss on the weekend?
That's mean. That was mean. That was mean. Oh my gosh.
It is what it is. I am who I am.
But it is a good question. How was that loss?
How was that loss? Yeah, you just lost. Oh. You just lost by double digits to a team that's just been promoted. What
makes it worse is that they had the 10-point lead at halftime. So yeah,
right. So we'll push on then. So yeah. Don't think Aztecs took a full squad. If you think Student probably couldn't afford a trip to Amsterdam. So I did speak to a player from the Aztecs regarding the travel, because he was the one who told me about the 17 hours worth of coach journey. Yeah, no, not ideal. And he mentioned the reason they'd chosen taking a coach was because cost. It was the lowest economy thing that they could do to get as many of the students to play as possible. But I still don't know how many of that there was. How's my cat? My cat's good. He's there's 3 of them around. I've become a crazy cat man. One was just on the window before. We had one walking across the keyboard just before we started stream. They're doing all right, Kwame. They're doing all right. Thank you very much for asking. We'll keep going with the Prem. So we had obviously Blitz and Cats. I feel like that's just trying to start beatboxing. Blitz.
Yeah.
Blitz and Cats. Sorry. We had the yes, vibing. I see it. Aztecs lost their preseason game, but then they've got Cambridge next week, so should be a very good game. We did have some other games there in the
South.
in the Prem South. So Hertfordshire, Solent. We'll start with that. Have you got a tan, Steve? Have you got a little bit more melanin going on? What's the crack?
Full head of hair, nice little, trying to grow out a little bit, and a mustache, looking good. Yeah, Steve, I've been doing good.
Yeah. So we'll move on. We'll move on to the Hertfordshire Solent game. Now, this is the preseason perceived bottom dweller.
Yeah.
It's Solent survived last year because Kent because Kent was so bad. So this year it's perceived that Solent will be that team. Hertfordshire coming off promotion, first season up in the Prem, got to assume they've probably been buoyed by a few players that may have left Hertfordshire when Hertfordshire was down. You've got to remember, a couple of years ago they were Div 2, then they got back up to Div 1, and then they've gone from Div 1 to Prem. Actually, I don't know if they were Div 2. I think they were just Div 1. No, they did. They were Div 2. They were Div 2. They won Div 2, and then they got promoted to Div 1, and then went from Div 1. So they've sort of, you can say that there's a high possibility there was a few players that when they were down in Div 2. No, we're close enough in the Hertfordshire region. We can go to, so you'd be talking about my Orioles.
Oh, God.
My Baltimore Orioles. Don't you be talking. And they've obviously, departed, and they're now back in the Prem. Come back.
They've never been in the Prem before.
No, very true.
No.
Div 1. I mean, I don't know about their history. They've never been in the Prem as long as I can remember. I have no idea if they've ever been in the Prem, but
from what I remember, they've never ever. Well, from what I can remember, they've never ever been it. So
someone, I'm sure Russ with his past affiliations with the Cheetahs, or someone who's currently affiliated with the Cheetahs, can let us know if they ever have been in the Prem. But so yeah, it's going to be good for them coming in first game up against Solent, down at half, like you said.
Yeah.
And a convincing victory, 10-point victory.
The thing is this just looks just like what the Div 1 final was like, because the Northumberland Vikings took over in the first half, and then somehow in the second half it just flipped. So what I'm guessing is that Hearts probably started to run the ball a lot more in the second half, and then obviously just took over. So I'm guessing that's what happened, and then Solent probably just don't have the numbers anymore to actually to handle it.
Well, maybe Kwame's here. He's very vocal in the chat. He can probably. Oh, so
they had the refs on their side.
They had the refs.
Oh,
it didn't matter about the game. It's not about the players on the field. It's all about the refs. So I'm assuming Northumberland have become the Newcastle Vikings. They are the Newcastle Vikings. They're no longer Northumberland. They are the Newcastle Vikings. Okay. So Martin just mentioned here, Hertfordshire have built a solid team over a number of years with junior programs. They have played long game over a quick short-term fix. And the issue is always, so that's Hearts' issue. They've always been a second half team. So they always start slow.
And then pick up.
And I'm not going to have that slander from Kwame. If you can see it there just below it. Yeah, oof.
Wow.
Evening, Jimmy. Thank you for joining us. This is going to be good. Like if you're affiliated, if you're a Hertfordshire player, if you're a Hertfordshire coach, anything like that, you've got to be stoked right now. First game in the Prem. You've come out. So, yeah, there we go. Russ has told us.
I was right.
Never been. And that's the thing, right? It's an away game. Your first game in the Prem ever, it's an away game. It's not a massive amount of travel from Hertfordshire down to Solent, but it's a couple of hours. You got to fight the M25.
About an hour and a half.
You got to fight the M25.
Never slump.
I'll let you read that one out. Like it doesn't sound right coming with my accent.
I've got brethrens there. So why don't you join your brethrens at Cheetahs then?
Yeah, it just doesn't sound right with my accent, saying brethrens.
Oh gosh.
So do the Thrashers win the reverse?
No
chance. No, I think Hertfordshire travelled well, but they will probably even
have a better squad at home.
At home, yeah, 100%. So Hearts QB 7-14. Hearts QB number 7, 14-22, 121 yards, 1 TD. Hearts running back 23 carries, 90 yards, and 2 TDs. And I'm assuming the defense balled out because that defense has been stellar for the past 3 years. And there we go.
Solent 65-yard pick return and a field goal. No
real offense.
Ow.
And that was something that was touched on last week, that Solent's QB and I think at least one other player have gone to Bristol. Cheetahs, amazing, really strong defense. The thing is, though, the Cats, really strong defense.
Yeah. They've always had it.
Yeah, for sure. The Blitz, their defense is up and left, so we can't really gauge that. They've just given up 34 points to Cambridgeshire.
No.
The Warriors, elite defense.
Elite defense, elite offense.
Aztecs, elite defense. It's not going to get any easier for Solent's offense. So if they're struggling against, and I don't want to speak down on the Cheetahs. This is a great win, but it's just when I look at Bristol and London at the moment, you do put them above everybody else because the Blitz have now dropped out.
Of course. But with the Cheetahs, so I wouldn't speak bad about the Cheetahs' defense because, to be fair, their defense was the best defense in Division 1 last year, although they gave up 21 points in the finals to the Newcastle Vikings, not Northampton.
But that's a Prem team.
Exactly. They're both Prem teams now.
Yeah. So that is,
and again, they were not to go back to how last year was, but to be fair, Cheetahs did get lucky by beating the Olympians in that game. We all saw it. We all saw it, but
I didn't see it. I'm a known Olympians hater.
The field goal wide left, wide right, and the one that they actually made got called a timeout, got called on it. It was just like, you can't make this up.
No, it's a big win for the Cheetahs, and they sit in their first season in the Prem. They are top of the Prem.
Yes,
they are the best team in the. Well, I won't say in the country because Manchester.
Yeah.
They're the number 2 team, I think.
At the moment.
East Kilbride. No, East Kilbride.
Oh yeah, East Kilbride will be first. Then
East Kilbride's second because they got 36-point differential. Manchester's got a 38-point differential. They're fourth because the Vikings have an 11-point victory over the Wolves. But fourth best according to the table standings. Hertfordshire are the fourth best team in the country. Enjoy it, Hertfordshire. Go wild. So that is the you've just signed Mitch Trubisky. Well,
that's not going to make you any better. Yeah, that doesn't really make any. I'm
assuming it's just.
Oh gosh.
So Craig just mentioned. Appears just missed you talking about all good things, Craig. I know that's probably sounds like lies coming out of my mouth, but no, legitimately, all good things. It's been you guys have been
the team
great first week.
Yeah. And we are not upset about that. And their next game isn't until May 5th.
So what's that, 3 weeks?
Yeah, which is the London Warriors.
So you got 3 weeks to prepare for the Warriors. So let's see how that elite defense works against arguably one of the best offenses in the country. But right now, you are the fourth best team according to standings. Revel in it. So that covers off both of the Prem South games. Let's head north.
Yeah.
And we did. Yeah, we have to. We did touch on the. So before we leave, Martin said, "Have worked with the Blitz over a couple of times. Have to say, yesterday was the most fun I've ever had on their sidelines. Hope to do more. Only see them getting better over the season. So they have some talent. Just need to work on the systems that are being put in place and trust in the coaches. So there we go. A lot of young guys coming through, either from the Bees or maybe coming from other London teams, seeing openings available."
There was a lot of rookies there, and again, special teams was one of the big things where one of their receivers broke it for I think it was like 60-yard punt return.
Okay, yeah. So there's things to hope for the Blitz, but it's not going to be the season that they're after. Yeah.
It will never be.
So we'll hop on the A1. We'll go north. And we've got a little bit of a. So now rookies is an excuse. Not for
which
you
one
guys.
do you want to go with?
Not for No. He's saying that we're giving.
I'm ignoring Kwame and the excuses that.
We'll start with the upset. We'll start with the upset. What is perceived as an upset? We've got a team coming up from Div 1 into the Prem, and this is a playoff team from the Prem last year. The Wolves finished second in the North last year. And Newcastle 23-12 upsets Edinburgh,
and none of us ever thought about it.
I was going to say, did any of us pick?
None of us picked. Actually, I think Hatch might have picked the Wolves.
If he did, he's
the Vikings. But
if he did, he's the GOAT. If he picked it, he is the absolute GOAT.
But I feel that once I saw, because they didn't release they didn't show who they had signed as well throughout the week. So after we had done it, then they started releasing, this is who's joined afterwards. And I was like, I know most of these guys from Durham. Most of these guys played at Durham. So they've got a couple Americans on their squad now. So it's useful. The QB is the American QB from Durham, who is really good.
Right.
He's got a really great arm, and they also have one of them Durham's receiver as well. So I'm guessing those two were probably the two highlights for the Newcastle Vikings yesterday as well. As I did see on their Instagram page, they were named they were on the MVP post.
Right. Okay.
So You know,
are we just gonna sort of wash this away and say imports? Are we gonna diminish
no,
their
no,
win and just say imports?
no,
Is that what we're gonna do?
I would never do that. That is not fair. That's not fair to do that to any team.
That's what it sounded like for a second. I was like, are we literally just like putting it all down to? So we have heard that all 3 passing TDs were to the Durham wide receiver.
Yeah,
that probably all came from the Durham QB. So maybe
it is.
Maybe it is imports.
But hey,
no, it was Steve. It was Steve who picked the Vikings. I've just gone. No, really? Actually, no, it's not. Nobody picked the Vikings. Steve picked the Nighthawks. It just sort of blends together. What are you doing, Steve?
Why would you pick the Nighthawks? Sorry, no offense, Nighthawks.
No, all the offense.
But I was shocked.
Yeah, none of us. Now the thing, you guys, before we get too far into these, because I know what's going to happen is as we get to these games where we have picked it wrong, everybody's going to be in the comments. You've got no idea what you're talking about. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Because for like
week one,
we're not tapped into what's going on up in Scotland. Nobody. We don't have a Scottish well, we have 2 Scottish ambassadors, and they're based in Aberdeen. They are a long fucking way away from everybody else, right? So there will be times that we will say something, and it's purely based on what we saw either last season or as we get further into the season, what we've seen in the weeks leading up to, right? This is not a show where we have Brit Ball is not a sport that has advanced statistics where we can sit there and fucking break down. And there we go. See, Dean. Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, you said they were going to get relegated. No chance.
They can still get relegated.
Dean, you could still get relegated. We said what we said because last year you guys were shithouse. If now you're not so shithouse, then we will see that as these weeks go forward. So that's going to be great. You have no clue what you're talking about anyway.
Apparently, I already know what's going on here, so I'll just leave him alone.
You were shithouse last year, Dean. You were. If you want to take offense to that, go back and look at the scores that you guys put up. Literally firing up PFF. We don't have EPA. We don't have fucking any of these advanced statistics that we can pour over. We literally have to box score watch. That's how we take this in. So if you were bad last season, we're going to take the safe track and say you're probably going to be bad this season. When you start to prove us wrong, we will recalibrate that assessment. So further on through the season, let's say if you're 4-0, then we're going to go, right, this team is 4-0, especially if you've beat teams that we would historically have seen as good. So when you have an upset in week 1, pull your fucking head in. It's not like sitting there crying about it on social media. Oh, we're all the doubters. Well, there wouldn't be doubters if you were just consistently good. If people are doubting you, that means that you were shit at some point in time.
Yeah. And again, not everyone wants to talk to us about anything. Not everyone wants to tell us what's going on at their team.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to keep everything silent. So until we find out what happens after week 1, then we can sort of gauge on how things are going to be going better on from there.
We're absolutely also amateurs, full-on amateurs. Let's be honest, you guys aren't here for our in-depth analysis, right? You guys come here because we talk Brit Ball and you enjoy it.
Who is this?
You don't know what you're talking about. We are absolutely rubbish. Okay, I guess.
Okay.
Cool.
Not sure how we're gonna
answer that. Okay, but we've gotten diverted. Newcastle. So Edinburgh, we're a team that we thought were going to be again pushing for. And I mean, I'm hesitant to say they're the best team in Scotland anymore after we've seen after we talk about the next result. But they were a team that we thought was going to be pushing for the second playoff berth. Obviously, Manchester gets the first one. That's a gimme. It doesn't matter. Don't need to talk about that.
Yes.
Newcastle, I think is right in
to get a playoff spot, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
They're in that conversation. So,
I mean, we were told last week that we need to sort of watch this space with Tamworth, and it could be that they were going to be frisky. No, they got their pants pulled down.
Yeah.
That was sort of in line with the way that these Manchester Tamworth games have gone in recent years. Now, could they come out and on all cylinders versus the other teams in the division? Absolutely. Like, I feel like at this point in time that you could very well see players skipping games when they see Manchester on the docket because they're like, "Oh, I
don't want to do this again.
I'm not playing this game. I'll be back for when we play Merseyside, or I'll be back for when we play East."
Which
Kent.
I feel is a really
terrible attitude
way to go about.
Absolutely, but I can guarantee there's probably at least one person on each of those rosters that works that way.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. But just making the highlights for Blue Milk TV. The highlights of you lot just scoring and Sam Fossey just getting the big hits as usual, and in the flats. I'm gonna guess that's what we're gonna most likely see.
Absolutely, it's not very athlete minded, Kwame. It's not, but I guarantee there would probably be at least one person on each of those rosters that looks at that Manchester game and goes,
"Nah, I'm good.
I could book a holiday right about then."
Yep.
But so we both had Edinburgh to win. We were upset. Who in their right mind would not want to play against the best team in their division?
A lot of people wouldn't want to play against the best team in the division.
The thing is, it's like it depends. Like when you're a very and I think a lot of people, it will be the guys that are very, very good will want to play against the best team in the division.
Yes, it is true. You do pay to play, and you don't want to play, then that's their money being wasted.
It is.
It's up to their choice if they want to waste their money and do that.
I mean, the reason I say it is I look at all of the years that we've had fucking what are they called? Like strategical forfeits. All of the years when we've had like strategical forfeits and stuff where, teams didn't want to play the Warriors because they were worried that they'd have less numbers and they might get hurt and things like that. Like, it happens. People do not want to get the shit kicked out of them for 6. That's the thing. You play to play football. You don't play, like, these people don't pay to play and get the shit kicked out of them for 60 minutes. So I'm not saying I support the idea, because I don't. I'm fully with Kwame. Like, you're paying your subs, play the game. And you're not going to get better by dodging the hardest competition.
No, that's where you learn what you need to work on to get better. Otherwise, if you don't try to get better, regardless, then you're just going to be doing the exact same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, and it's never going to go anywhere. So
there's 100% going to be the player with the mindset of, I'm just playing. I'm paying just to play, to have fun, like. I'm not out here like I don't want to get hurt or anything like that. And I'm devil's advocating this. I'm not saying that they should have this mindset, but there will be players with that mindset. So, if you forfeit a game, do you forfeit a playoff spot? I feel like you would probably forfeit a playoff spot based just on competition.
Yeah, and you'd lose anyway, so you wouldn't really get a spot. And then I think, if I'm correct, that you've still got, if the other team has the thing booked already and paid for it already, you have to pay them back.
Yeah, I think if you're forfeiting games, you're probably not going to make the playoffs, because the reason you're forfeiting games is you've got numbers problems, or you're talking about how it's player safety and shit like that. If you're dealing with those issues, you're probably not making the playoffs.
To be fair, if you're forfeiting games for player safety and not having enough numbers, you need to drop down to associate.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I'll be honest, that's probably the truth.
Again, this would be Steve. Steve would be able to comment more on this if he were here. I thought they were still on the BAFA's discretion of who goes down and who doesn't. I feel like they got rid of the yellow card, red card system, and now it's just BAFA decides whether you go down or not. David's just mentioned, wasn't a clear-cut second favourite in the North. Tamworth and Edinburgh both went 7-3. EKP was spicy. Throw on the Vikings. It could be... Yes, 100%.
It's going to be very interesting, but
it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I'll be honest, I don't even think Tamworth will be there this year.
I don't
think they'll be there this year.
The thing is, I look at a 38-0 loss to Manchester, and I'm like, I can't take anything away from that. Like, pretty much every team that we've watched.
But did you watch the stream?
No.
So the QB broke his collarbone.
Oh God.
So the Gloucestershire Glads QB ended up playing QB. Then the Birmingham Lions running back ended up having to change jersey and play center.
Right. Okay.
So
I was more just, again, like I said, I don't watch the streams. I'm usually doing stuff on Sunday. It's my day to do things.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna say, looking at a 38-0 loss, like that is on average what Manchester has beaten every team in the division by.
It's true.
Over the last probably 2 years. So I don't take anything away from that and say that Tamworth are any better or any worse than they were last season. If they're, 38, because I can easily see Manchester going to Edinburgh coming to Manchester, Newcastle doing both. Like, I can see Manchester putting up 40 on any other team in this division without blinking.
Yes.
So I look at 38 and it doesn't give me any insight whatsoever as to who's going to finish second. So I'm not willing to write Tamworth off, but I do reckon that. So Phil just said, didn't the Knicks QB get injured first game last year? He did. He did his ankle. He came back mid-season and they struggled down the stretch without him. But then when he came back, they put on
But a collarbone is a collarbone, regardless. Is 8.
Yeah, I feel like a broken collarbone is season gone.
Yeah. So if he tries to push it, what's the benefit?
Yeah. Look at me, I'm Oz. I'm too special to watch stream. No, it's just because I'm afraid that the stream I'm going to click on is going to be the one you're commentating, and I really don't want to ruin my day like that. Like, I like myself. I do. Not a lot of people like me, so I have to like myself. So I'm not going to torment myself by having to listen to Kwame fucking natter on for 4 quarters. So, yeah, I'm just scared that I'm going to get his stream.
Okay, so Tamworth still have a strong defense, but again, you can't. This is as bad as it is to say. This will happen at the Blitz. The Blitz always had a strong defense, but the offense just wasn't getting to that point where it was scoring consistently. So it comes down to that situation of, are they just going through the same process where they just have to try and bolster and maybe take 2-3 years and get back to where they were? Again, we don't know.
Well, that's the thing. It's like at the moment, Manchester is set for long-term sustained success. So you're now in the position that the Blitz, the Aztecs have been for the last few years, where you more so before the last 2 years than everything else, to fight for that second playoff spot. And then, the way that the Blitz have done it is they've really heavily invested, not invested, but have very strong links with the unis around them to make sure they're getting very good players that are coming through. And that means that they're now challenging London for the 1 spot as opposed to challenging the others for the 2. So at the moment, it's just you need to focus on East Kilbride, and this could be seen as a loser's mentality. But if I'm any other team apart from Manchester in this, I'm looking and I'm going, right,
East Kilbride.
We're losing 2 games this season, minimum.
Yeah,
right? We need to make sure we're going 8-10. 8-2.
Yes.
Like, I'm looking at Merseyside, I'm looking at East Kilbride, Edinburgh, Newcastle, and I'm going in Tamworth, and I'm going, right, win. Whichever team you are, we need to win that one, win that. These are the games we have to win, because at the moment every team is going to drop 2 to Manchester. So if you look at it, it's an 8-game season for everybody else.
So yeah, it's just like how it usually is down south, how it was for a while.
Yeah.
Everyone was losing to Warriors regardless.
Exactly. Like the mid 2010s, sort of from 2014 to 2017, it was like just chalk up 2 L's when you verse the Warriors, make sure at least 1 game off of everybody else.
Exactly. So it always came down to who is the best out of the rest, and then So
speaking of the best out of the rest at the moment, it looks like East Kilbride.
Yes, 43-7 over Merseyside Nighthawk. I did say last week that they looked like they were going to be a good team. I did say that.
Yeah, you had. Well, you were the guy. So before we had the comment about mentioning you're not even sure whether Edinburgh is the second best team in the division, I mentioned last week that I thought Edinburgh would be the best team in Scotland. You raised an eyebrow at that and said, "Well, you're not overly sure because you heard the EKP's recruited really well." I'm going to give you your props because they've come out and they have put the beat down.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise. It's not. We're not. No.
It's not.
The only person in the UK who thought Merseyside was going to beat EKP is Steve. He's literally the only person in the country that thought that was going to happen. But it's the way that they've done it in such dominating fashion.
Yeah. For the first game of the season, again, we all expect Manchester to win games. That's without a doubt. We expect Manchester to be in the playoffs. Expect them to have a home game against either most likely Bristol.
Yeah.
So we expect that to happen potentially. So whoever comes next is either Vikings, Wolves, or Pirates.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're fighting for you're fighting for an away game. You're fighting for an away game in either London or Bristol.
Exactly.
Is what you're fighting for right now. Oh yes, and I mean that was why it was so funny that Edinburgh had to travel for finishing second last year, because it's just seeing Edinburgh down in London with reduced numbers because they're going to come from Scotland. But you're fighting for an away game, be it either in Bristol, in London. And you have started your season off the right way with a 43. Like, yes, Merseyside are most likely the team that gets relegated this season. We said that last week. We thought that was going to happen because they fucking avoided it on a technicality last year with Leicester. Like, but 43 points is still convincing. It is still an emphatic victory for East Kilbride. And I will be avidly looking forward to seeing how the games go between East Kilbride and Newcastle and East Kilbride and Edinburgh.
That would be fun. I would love to go to those games, but I don't really have the fun. I don't really have the time to be traveling.
I might see what works going on. Like, I mean, if the game's this weekend, if East Kilbride plays Edinburgh this weekend, I am working in Edinburgh Thursday, Friday.
It is East Kilbride versus Newcastle. No,
home or away?
It is at Newcastle.
Well, I could probably go to that game anyway because it's just up the road. Even if it was away, I'm working in Edinburgh on Thursday and Friday.
It's also a 4 p.m. kickoff
on Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty late.
So that does give a different aspect to it. So
if I go Kwame, I'll go, what, to Edinburgh? I'll meet you there, bro. I'll meet you there. You book the tickets. I'll meet you there. No, huge win for East Kilbride. So if we look back over the Prem as a whole, possibly seen as surprise victories for both Cambridgeshire and Newcastle. Big emphatic victories there for East Kilbride and Hertfordshire. Manchester does what Manchester does. And
no difference there.
Yeah, so we'll move to Div 1. This was an upset.
Because
I've got to eat crow on this one.
None of us actually expected this.
Yeah, I got to eat what? Or I'm going to eat Black Hawk because I talked a lot of shit about Clyde Valley last week. And they come out and they beat the Stags 17-6.
They took control of the game. I'm trying to figure out how it went, but I guess they got some new players into the squad, or
I mean, it's tough. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we only know about Scottish football what the Scottish people tell us. So I'm hoping Tony is in the chat because Tony is our so Colin, thank you. Colin's just let us know that Clyde Valley D balled out. Tony is usually the guy letting us know what's going on in the Scottish ball. He is an amazing sort of resource for us. That's not like an official resource. He just pops into the comments and lets us know.
Some Wolves players went over to see Clyde Valley, yeah?
Right.
That's an interesting switch. No?
I mean, it's not geographically. It is in terms of going from the Prem, taking the step down. I would have thought if Edinburgh players were going to move, they would move to EKP.
Yeah, because
again, geographically not a big move. Taking the step down to NFC 1 Scottish or Scotland or NFC Scotland, whatever it fucking name is now.
It's probably a big drop.
It definitely, considering some of these teams were Div 2 quality. So you're going to be stepping down into a much lower level of competition and play. So it's interesting, but I mean, it's going to be good for Clyde Valley if you're getting prem blooded talent into your lineups.
They should help them push for that promotion. And
so when you say the scoreline didn't reflect the play, Chris, are you saying more that Clyde Valley should have scored more, or that Highland should have made it closer than 11 point? Yeah, because I mean 17-6 isn't a whooping. Like 10 point, like double digits is still it's a good victory, but giving up 17 is still not huge.
So, they had 42 players. Who had?
Well, can we when we're going to go with these statements, guys? Can we have team name?
Yeah, just team. Anything like
they does not help.
Or Stag, something would be very useful there.
Yeah, please. It's not helpful. Plenty of Prem players went to Knots this season. Yes, I would assume. I would assume that that Knots would have plenty of Prem players because Knots is looking at being in the Prem next year. Whereas, no offense to Clyde Valley, I don't think Prem is a realistic.
No, the travel wise is too.
Not even that. Just the level of quality in the team. Like, I don't think it's a realistic goal for them to have. Like, if they want to win their division, or even make playoffs, like, great. That's a great goal to have. Making the Prem is not a realistic goal for Clyde Valley to have at this point in time. They were struggling last year against Div 2 quality teams. No, so they wouldn't, like, if anybody in there is like, yeah, we should be aiming for the Prem, absolutely. You should always aim for the Prem. If you're in Div 1, you should always be aiming for the Prem. But it's not realistic for them to be like, yep, we're going to make the Prem this year. You're not. You're absolutely not.
You shouldn't. Unless the players that have come in, they are of the talent.
You're starting defense and you're starting offense and you're starting special teams and your backup players.
That they are the ones. Then hey, if you make playoffs, then I will. No, I'm not going to say that because I will not do it.
No. So they could. I don't know how it works. Like with the Scottish mixed in with the Div 1. Last week it wasn't realized for Clyde Valley to beat the Stags either. Apparently, you're right. We all picked the Stags. Well, realized realistic. You're right. It wasn't. We all picked the Stags. As I said, I got to eat crow on this one because I talked a lot of shit about Clyde Valley based on their play last season. You may have missed my earlier rant about why we say what we say. But the fact is, you played like dog shit last year, and you've come through and you've played well this week. It is week 1. Yeah. You've come out and you've if teams are struggling to field rosters in week 1, like they're probably not going to last the fucking season.
So let's see what happens.
So the fact you've got 42 in week 1, that's amazing. That is huge. How many have you got 7 games from now?
That's where the real question comes in because a lot of people tend to drop off if they're not getting game time.
The reverse, yeah. Oh yeah.
So let's see.
So the reverse. We've been told the reverse fixture is going to be juicy, and I can tell you, yes, it will because that is a 5-hour. That's a 5-hour drive from Clyde Valley to. Is a long fucking way.
I'm guessing that the journey will be done in the morning, and not. Oh Lord.
There's a long way. So I don't know how well. I hope they travel well, but hopefully 42. Hopefully close to 42 travel for the reverse fixture. No, but it's a great showing for the Blackhawks. Well done. I didn't think you would do it. You So I've been told 3.5.
Oh,
I must have hit traffic on the A9 then because when I did it from fucking I'd come up past Edinburgh and it took me 5 hours for work. So
I've never been there.
It was not fun.
I don't think I'd ever want to do that travel. The longest journey I've done for a football game was Olympians to EKP. Never again would I want to do that.
Longest journey I've done for a football game was 15-hour flight.
15-hour flight. Where were you playing?
Flew from Sydney to Honolulu.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Right. So that's the longest. Just driving the lines like GTA. A9 is speed cam to the max. Is there another way to get to the Highland Stags by not going up the A9? Like, I thought that was the only way. It goes straight up the fucking guts of Scotland. I have no idea if it's smarter to go up the outside and then I think it's like the A9-3 or something up the outside towards Aberdeen and cut across. But
Highland to London in 22. Oh.
Yeah, 22 hours. I'm assuming.
Is it not in 2020? I think that's 2022.
Oh, yeah. No, that was, because Highland had to travel for playoffs last year. Because they played.
Really?
Yes. They had an away.
Wow. Who did they play?
Not last year, sorry, the year before. When they were fighting for promotion into Div 1.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was a long way to go. Right here, if you don't mind the chair folding mid-flight, just make one of those standing up seats. Another game that was that was tightly contested, and it was
Hamburg.
Yeah, the Warhawks 14, Warhawks 14, Sheffield Giants 7.
I think we both picked Warhawks.
We both picked the Warhawks. We did, and it's so they lost to Apache in the final. Right.
Don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
Nah.
I was paying attention in 2022, but it was a long time ago. Humber 14, Sheffield Giants 7. The Giants, obviously, team trying to make it back to the Prem after dropping. Yeah, exactly. The Lord of the Rings reference there for anybody who doesn't know. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. First game in Div 1 for Humber this season. First game in Div 1.
And
Sheffield coming out of the Prem 2 years ago.
And it looks like it didn't go that bad for Hamburg.
Well done, Humber.
Hey.
So we had strong hopes for Humber, and I mentioned that I copped a lot of slack last year from Sheffield for calling them out on their level of play because they had a good run down the stretch. They started very, very poorly, and then they played really well down the stretch. And we thought that that Sheffield could be chippy this season. And mate, a 7-point loss is definitely. Have you got a light up pineapple on your wall? Is that an LED pineapple on your wall?
Maybe.
You're going to end up having to turn that on. You know
it's
that,
possible.
right?
It's possible.
So we both thought that Humber would win this one. I didn't think it was going to be by lots, but I still thought that they would win it.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah, I feel that when you drop down a division, and I didn't expect them to do anything. Sheffield to be great. But yeah, I did expect Hamburg to win it, so I wasn't really that shocked, to be fair, when I saw it. So Sheffield missed 2 important field goals, and their defense allowed 7. The other 7 was a pick 6.
So there we go. That's it. Massively close game. Missing 2. Yeah, Jesus. Try doing Swansea to Sterling by coach. Never again. So unfortunately, in football though, you've got to convert on those important opportunities. So they're definitely going to be a lot of takeaways then for Sheffield on converting those opportunities. Humber, from what we've heard, might have been a bit lucky, but you need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, if you don't have luck, then if you don't think you don't have luck in this game, then you're crazy. Let's be honest.
80 pick 6.
8. Oh,
go on, son.
How far was the closest player to catching him? That is the question.
Doesn't matter, mate. Doesn't matter. He got there. He got there. No, big win for Humber. They are going to have, I reckon, a strong season this year. In Div 1. So they've obviously, because like we said, they were a big fish in a small pond last year. They wiped the floor with everybody else in their division. They had no competition whatsoever. And
so far they're not doing that bad. They're still in a sort of tough division itself. So we'll see what happens when they play against a team like Chester Romans or Scunthorpe Alphas. We'll see what happens. If it's a closer game, then it will be very interesting to see who wins it.
Yeah,
100%.
100%. Right, we'll move on. Nottingham Caesars, Birmingham Bulls, Nottingham 20, Birmingham 8. Business as usual for Nottingham?
Yes. Saw the stream today was really good. The defense, so to be fair, Caesars defense, we expected them to be great. They had 6 interceptions yesterday. 6. They had 6, and it only ended up 20. You're seeing, exactly. But from what I've heard is that the Bulls are sneaky good. So the Bulls have got their props as well from opponents. So again,
sneaky. If you're keeping the game to 12 point deficit,
and you threw 6 picks, there's something. You got something there. You got something there working, and you just got to strike at the right time, because otherwise, in that division as well itself seems very difficult too.
2 drives died on 4th and goal.
Wow. But wait, is it 4th? See, 4th and goal could mean many things. It could be 4th and goal from the 10, or 4th and goal from the 1.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So I'm gonna assume. I'm just gonna go out and extrapolate and say 4th and goal line. Like I'm saying, right fucking in there.
Yeah.
In there.
Hey, if you're on the 4 yard, if you're on the 1 yard line and the Caesars stopped you, hey, first thing go.
I'm assuming good first and goal line.
Yeah. But again, that gives more credit to Caesar's defense than anything else, because they were able to hold that line. They didn't.
But that's what exactly. And that's what you need to do if you've got realistic Prem aspirations. Because you need to be able to stop. So Caesar's drives, not Birmingham.
Oh,
right. If you're telling us information, put the team name before you tell us what they did. So that makes sense though. You know, six picks, and then 2 of their drives spotted on the goal line.
Yeah.
So we could have been looking at a much bigger deficit. So that's good. That's good for Nottingham, because I was a little bit concerned that if they were, you know, having to defend their own goal line multiple times and they weren't putting up big points, that would be sort of troublesome for a team that is looking to win their division and win playoffs.
But the Bulls stopping the Caesars on the goal line, that means they're doing something right.
Oh, absolutely. But you take that away as the Nottingham sort of coaching trust, and you say, right, we've got execution points here. We should have beat them by 30. We should have put 35 on them or whatever. So you've definitely got some coaching points to take away there. As we look at the rest of that division, that is the only
no,
game
there was another no, it wasn't. We had the Norfolk Knights versus Shropshire Revolution as well.
Did indeed. The Revs as well, yeah. So that's
and the Knights won 14-0.
Let's go North Ends.
Hey, I got that one wrong. You follow Tyler. You back Tyler up.
I told you, my man. I told you. The Knights.
You did it. Although they do, from what I heard, is it their OC that is from the NFL Academy? Is a coach from the NFL Academy?
Bro, I got no clue.
Yeah, they've got some new coaching stuff, and I guess the players are ready to go. So
the thing you have to look at though is Shropshire came up from Div 2, so they are a freshly promoted team. Obviously, we've been talking about freshly promoted teams tonight already who've gone out, got their first win in the new division. Like, absolutely great, but
not everyone can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you got to have realistic expectations at times and say, look, you're in a new division against a new level of competition. We can't just expect you to go out and win every game. So for Shropshire, a 14-point loss isn't the end of the world.
It's not terrible.
They have got a
terrible loss.
The thing is, right? That's a tough fucking division.
It is, and unfortunately, it does seem like they're probably.
I don't think it gets any easier. I don't think it gets any easier.
And how does Division 1 relegation work?
I think it's you finish bottom, you're gone.
Okay, so
there's 3.
There's 3 divisions, but I swear there's two. There's 2 Division 2 divisions, so it's kind of
no. So there's 2 Division 2 divisions and there's 3 Division 1 divisions. So
I guess it's the 2 worst teams drop down.
Oh God, I hate you, Kwame.
So why say negative? Why?
No, I can't because it's offensive. In my accent, it's not a nice word.
Okay.
I try to avoid saying it. I remember first season of Britball. I tried giving like a halftime speech, just to sort of, we were down and I tried to pump the guys up, and straight away Lloyd and Murat were like, bro.
No.
I was like, what? And they're like you can't say things aren't positive. I was like, and they're like, or if you are, you have to say they're not positive. I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, and there was a few guys like Neri and stuff looking at me like, bruv. So
right.
It's not a word that in my accent, and the thing is, because I talk so quickly, I don't even fucking think about it. So we just I haven't been around Britball, so for the last 6 months, so I'd forgotten that it's not a word that I can say.
That's fair. No, but unfortunately, at the moment, it may be Revolutions that could go down from that division, unless
that's the thing. It's the reverse fixture. The reverse fixture against North Ants will be very, very telling, because I do not see their games getting any. I'm looking at Leicester, Birmingham, Nottingham.
It's a very difficult division to be in.
But mate, honestly, pretty much all of Div 1, like all 3 divisions,
It's
maybe not Scott. Well, maybe Scottish. Now that Clyde Valley's proved that they're a team
Yeah.
to take seriously. So, but they're all fucking buzzsaws, man. Like,
it's going to be a struggle. But again, if you can pull off 1 or 2 wins, hey, it could hold you up.
Mate, stealing a win away from like a Leicester or a Birmingham, like could change your outlook of the season, like massively. So we're going to move to the
Central.
Yeah, the Div 1. The Div 1 is it Central? Is it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
SFC 1 Central.
We expected this victory though.
Yeah,
we both expected this. We expected them to win the division as it is already.
I did think Portsmouth were going to be a little bit plucky. So the game we're talking about here is Rushmore 33, Portsmouth 14. I did think Portsmouth were going to be a little bit pluckier because of how well they'd recruited in the off season. But after we came off stream last week, I checked my phone and I had about 5 messages from different people, and three of those people had all said, "Don't be so high on the Portsmouth recruiting."
Oh wow!
There's trouble in paradise.
Wow.
So it's Micah definitely wins. I'm a lover.
Yeah, that's a very odd question, Kwame.
Yeah, no, Micah wipes the floor with me. I suppose he's wondering like who wins in a 1v1 if I keep saying the opposite of positive. Right, so yeah, Rushmore 33, Portsmouth 14. I did think Portsmouth was going to be a little bit pluckier than this. And 80, yes, up the Cats. We spoke about them about 45 minutes ago, but great victory for them. Go back and wind it back, watch, and we'll see all the good talk about the Cats. This doesn't really tell us a massive amount about where Portsmouth sits in the grand scheme of their competition, like versus the Hornets, Saints, Stallions.
So in that division, that division is going to be interesting. Again, we both, although we both agreed that the Oxford Saints are probably going to be the team that gets relegated.
Yeah,
we expect them to beat Oxford in their 2 games that they play.
Yes,
unless Oxford have done something dramatic and changed everything up again.
Well, that's the thing. It's like we could be completely wrong, and Oxford may have done something to change their outlook, but we would assume that that's what will happen. Yeah, I think they played multiple times last year, if I remember rightly, because they were in the same division. Oxford did go. I believe they only won 1, if I remember rightly. I'm just having a quick look to see if I can see their stats for last year.
Yeah, Oxford, 1-9. Oxford only won 1 game last year. So
yeah, 1-9, and that was the 5-3 game against South Wales.
Yeah.
So that means that they weren't in the same. Sorry, they were in the same division as Rushmore. They weren't in the same division as Portsmouth.
And Portsmouth got promoted.
Yes,
apparently.
Portsmouth came up. They were Div 2. They were Div 2 last year. They got promoted. Both them and Somerset went 8-7. 7-1 out of an 8-game season.
Yeah. So it's Portsmouth for them. It's going to be difficult, but I feel like they'll probably still beat Oxford. Rushmore Knights will probably be the powerhouse of that. One of the powerhouses of that division. So it shouldn't be that much of a surprise.
Yeah, that was the thing. I feel like
in that division.
I feel like Rushmore can probably look at this and go, right, we're going 8-0 this season.
Yeah. Unless the London Hornets and Wembley Stallions show up and do something. But again, I don't know what their recruitment have been for those teams. So
yeah, it's been a little bit of upheaval in the London region, but whether it's trickled down to the Hornets and Stallions is a
different situation.
Yeah.
So
We'll look at another London. Speak of another London team, then the Blitz B.
Oh,
I mean, that whole team's getting called up. They're all getting called up. Like they're all going up to the 45-0 over Norwich.
So the rumors, obviously, how everyone has it been going is that everyone is going off of that all the Yanks had left Norwich and had transferred to Cambridge. So that's the reason for this big beatdown. From what I heard, is that the Norwich is there
an American military base in Cambridge?
I believe there is. I believe there is.
So Norwich has lost several players to transfers and retirements. I believe most of the team this season are rookies. Devils also lost a couple of players to injury, which didn't help. So yeah, looking like it could be a long season for Norwich. Yeah.
So Norwich getting promoted.
Promoted?
I think not. You're the one that said it last week. Oh.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, well, good thing I can change my opinion after 1 week. No. Not a good look for them. 45 points, shutout as well. If you've got a team full of rookies and you got a lot of injuries, then
you're not going to do anything great.
Yeah, you'll look good in Div 2 next year when you don't have a lot of rookies because they'll all be second-year players. Yeah. Get them some Div 1 experience, and then back down to Div 2 you go. Yeah. About 20 minutes up the road from Cambridgeshire is a massive base, so they can't confirm or deny whether there's a lot of Yanks that have left Norwich and now.
Well, so again, it's a great showing for the Blitz Bees on their first game of the season, but the real test will be when they play against a tougher opponent. So
I was going to say they've got
East Kent Mavericks.
They've got the Mavericks.
They got Olympians who they split with last year.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it will potentially be between East Kent Olympians and Blitz B for that second spot it'll be between Blitz B and Olympians for the second spot.
I was going to say, are we writing off the Exiles that much? Like they lost to Kent, but we'll lump these two in together because East Kent, the Battle of Midway, I think they were calling it that last week. Battle of Midway, East Kent, 27-6 over the Kent Exiles.
Yeah, the scoreline. I'm not going to lie, I'm slightly disappointed with the scoreline of what I was expecting.
Way you were bigging it up, I thought East Kent was going to put 50 on them.
Yeah, I was expecting a bigger score. From what I heard, that they had a touchdown called back. I don't know how many. I know they've had one. One running back could have had 4 touchdowns in that game, but one got called back. So, but 27-6, I have to admit, it was very shocking.
It's still pretty one-sided.
Yeah,
like it is still, that's a 3-score game, so that is still pretty one-sided. But it's not. It's not what
it's not what we were expecting. No.
Yeah, it's okay. I'd say it's not what the consensus thought might have happened. Where the word on the street was everybody had left Kent, gone to East Kent, and then they were going to put the beat down on the former Kent team.
And you look at their receiving core, you'd expect their receiving core would probably burn most secondaries in Division 1. So you'd expect that there would be multiple 30-yard touchdowns plus. So again, it's not exactly what we expected because last year they started off very shit. I'll say Exile started. Mavericks started off very, very shit last year. So it's a better start than they had last year. So that's true. There isn't anywhere in Medway.
So Kwame said that never in his life has he expected Medway to be a place worth battling for. You need to read some history, bro. Medway was actually the site of the first major Roman invasion of Britannia. So Medway was a very big battle site. So a little bit of history for you there, Kwame.
But yeah, for me, I feel let down by the score because I was expecting something.
You have massive expectations for East Kent this season.
I do because of the players that have left teams and have gone there. So I expect that most players would be there. They got a lot of GB talent as well there. They've got GB, so you'd expect something spectacular to happen, but just because you might have the talent doesn't mean that it's going to work out.
You've got to have the execution and they got to work together. They got to have the teamwork and stuff as well. Otherwise, you just end up with a lot of individual dudes running routes and nothing really come of it. Just a lot of cardio. So we look at that division. Obviously, the Blitz B sit on top at the moment with a 40 because of the 45-point crushing of Norwich. Then we do have the East Kent Mavericks in second there.
Yes,
and then you've got the Exiles and the Devils holding the bottom, and the O's in the middle because they get to play.
Yes, so the O's are playing Olympians this week. So
the O's are playing Olympians.
That doesn't make sense.
Is that a white v purple game or white v maroon game?
The O's are playing the Devils this week.
The Devils, right? Okay, so
that'll be
the Devils are rocking.
We do get a clear cut on who's going to be the front runner because it is Mavericks versus Blitz B this week as well.
Oh, okay.
So
exciting on that, mate. That's the game you should be going to.
No, I'm not.
Is it not a home game for? Is it not a home game for Blitz?
No, I'm not traveling 2 hours and a half.
I was gonna say if it was a home game for Blitz, I could.
I'd go down there, but no, it's not. It's not.
Nope, not happening. So and I think I'll have to stop my hate for the Olympians at this point in time. If the Devils are dealing with a lot of injuries and rookie players.
You can't do that, could you?
Nah, well, I can say that the Olympians. Well, I mean, I'll have to pick the Olympians, but it's not going to be nice. But okay, I think we're dropping down a division. No, we're still got one team. We've still got one team. We've still got one team.
Two teams.
Oh yeah,
We've
4
got
teams.
two.
2 games.
Yeah.
2 games for 4 teams. Bristol Apache 35. Somerset Wyverns
0.
Nil point.
We thought that it was going to be the Somerset Wyverns that were going to win this one, and
we did. We both picked Somerset, and
we were upset.
Wrong. And it's so predictions seem to be based on old narratives of players automatically going from Apache to Aztecs. Me, Apache receive offers to play for Aztecs, but choose to stay at Apache for growing culture for their own reasons. 2 great teams performing well, respectively. Rolled Tribe.
Rolled Tribe. That's a new one.
Yeah, it's a new one. It's not really. It's not really that. It was more for me personally. It was how well and convincing Somerset were in their run last season in Div 2, and then how well they played in the playoffs, and how hot and cold Bristol were in their season last year. That was more for me what it had to do with. It was like why I thought, because I mean, Apache finished with a negative win-loss record last year. They went 4-6. I suppose I was thinking, the hot up and comer was going to. I didn't think it was going to be a big victory, but I thought it was going to be a close victory, and I was completely wrong. The Apache have come out and they've just absolutely slapped the floor with them. Yeah, slapped Somerset around. And
for me, the reason why I just didn't know. Again, for a team that sort of struggled to get a lot of points last year, they conceded just 20 less than what they scored. Mike. Oh God, Lord.
We'll pick that up after you finish. Finish your thought. Finish your thought first.
So for me, it was ideally I'd expect it to be okay. You do well in Apaches, and if the Aztecs want you, then if they offer you the option to come up, then most players are going to want to play at the better division and play against harder players and
is that based on how you've seen the approach from the Blitz side of things, from when you were associated with the Blitz? Essentially, if you were good, you went and played for the A's.
Yes, ideally, I did. My thought process was that's the exact same thing. What would happen if you go into the B team to develop? You learn the game more. If it's your first year playing, you learn the game. If you've shown promise and you want to step up and try better competition, then you do that. So that's where my thought process had come off with it all.
And I think that's where we need to differentiate, because I don't know if the Apache see themselves as a B team, is what from what we've just sort of read here.
It seems like they're two separate.
Exactly. Which is we've had sort of an archaic sort of view in it, where we've said Aztecs are the A team, Apache are the B team. Whereas reality is it might just be 2 separate, yes, they're both Bristol based and everything like that, but they are 2 separate teams. They have, from what we're seeing, growing culture for their own reasons. So 2 separate cultures. So it's not a Blitz way that it is. It's not a Blitz A and a Blitz B, and where you just get pulled up if you're any good. You can be good and stay with the Apache and so they could be, realistically.
See, but then
can they make the Prem?
But this is where my. I guess if they're if they're a separate entity, yes.
Yeah.
They're 2 separate, so I guess they could still go up. They could go up to the Prem, but then it'll be it's very confusing, wouldn't it be then?
So here we go. We've got unfortunately suffered horrific injury. We suffered horrifically with injury last season. The Apaches had a lot of injuries. Managed to not only keep our star players last year, we've gained some great ones as well.
Okay, fair.
Very right in saying that the Apache are not a B team by any standard. Luke's mentioned we're about building camaraderie and chemistry. Right, amazing guys. Answer me this question: if you guys run this division, can you play in the Prem? Are you prohibited from playing in the Prem, or can you play in the Prem? That's what we want to know.
Yeah. Are you sharing the same field as the Aztecs? Are you going to be like?
Do you have like the same? Like if you have like an AGM, is it all the same board or anything? Are you guys completely separate entities, and we need to treat you as such? And it just so happens that you're both located in Bristol. You know, if we treat it like Man City and Man United, you are completely different clubs.
Same logos, if I'm correct.
No,
is it the same logos or is it not?
No, it's different because well, we've just been told the same logo. So Josh said, yeah, they wish they knew. Ask Baffa, right?
Okay, so we'll just wait to see if you don't win your division. And
okay, well, yeah,
and then we'll see.
Just wipe the floor with your division and make Baffa make a decision. I mean, Micah will tell you that would be very difficult with East Kent, but you guys look in prime position to be that, be fighting for that type of position. So imagine Man City and Man United, the same kit and logo. Yeah, so Richard asked at training a few weeks ago. No one really seems to know. Goal is the Prem, mate. Every Div1
everyone's goal should be Prem.
Should be the Prem, but as we mentioned before, that's not realistic for every team. Based on this performance, I think that is a realistic goal for them to have, and I wish them all the best in it. Like, go out there, ball out on the field, and fucking make Baffa make a decision. And then it'll be the wrong one because that's the only thing they ever do. But best luck. There was one more game in the SFC, and we're still there.
All right, so
one more game in this division.
It is the South Wales Warriors 19, Bournemouth Bobcats 8.
What happened to all the hype around Bournemouth?
Yeah, because we fell for it. We fell for it last.
We did. We bought in. We were all aboard the Bournemouth gravy train. We were right there, hook, line, and sinker.
Didn't expect South Wales to show up at all this year. Week 1, I didn't expect it. I saw what they were.
We've already managed to offend South Wales in week 1 last week, by saying they were going to get relegated, and they obviously took that.
Yeah, so like you had Oxford Saint last year, so we expected you to be safe by that, but then obviously Oxford Saint going to get relegated. Yeah, that still doesn't compute with me.
Yeah, it was going to be. It was talked about that it was going to be. No, Oxford isn't in this division.
Last year,
it's Hereford, South Wales, Bournemouth, Bristol, and Somerset.
No, I mean last year. Last year they were in the same division. They were with Oxford last year, so it was But at the same time, who gonna know? Right
TMZ's reporting South Wales put catnip in the Bournemouth changing rooms. No, it's a big win for South Wales. It absolutely is. It's a really, really big win for South Wales because we were doubters of them. There was other people. We weren't the only doubters of them, but we were big doubters of them. For Bournemouth, this is a massive setback because obviously their QB from last year retired. They had a new QB come through from Portsmouth,
who we expected would have taken
who I said was going to be retired. Who I said was going to retire next year from injury because he's following the same career path, same name and all. But it's the wheels have kind of fallen off. I mean, it is only week 1. Like we shouldn't overreact, but at the same time, it is 1/8. It's 1/8 of the season. Like we talk about, it's only week 1. It is only week 1, but you've only got 7 more games to be able to right the ship. You've got 1 more game in the reverse fixture, and then you've got 3 other teams, and one of them has already shown themselves to be a monster in this division in Bristol.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry, Sam. Please tell me you're healthy, Sam. Please tell me you're healthy.
That was a mean curse that you did throw out there.
I didn't want to curse him. I just pointed out the pattern I was seeing.
8 games is such a scam.
8 games is a scam, but it's what Baffa want to do. I mean, personally, they should play each team 3 times. We should be playing 12 games.
To be fair, there's basically 22 weeks to the
Yeah,
finals.
there is space to have 12 games.
So
You could play everybody else 3 times. There is space for it, but it's more the fact we don't like. I don't think there's the refs for it. Is the issue?
No, I don't think there is. So it's again, we got to stick with what we got until we can get more refs in. You know.
And the thing is, it's like I can imagine recruiting for refs is a fucking nightmare.
It probably is. It probably really is.
I can't imagine they get paid that much.
And money wise, can you really afford for?
Yeah, so Flynn and Aaron are just repeating the same thing. Like I can't imagine that they get paid like fuck all. If you got to travel, like I can't imagine that it is not an appealing thing to want to be a ref. Especially in Britball, it's not really an appealing thing to want to be a ref in anything apart from a professional aspect where you get paid full time to be a ref.
Even in professionals, some don't even want to do it.
Well,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. And the thing is like not all professional refs are full time refs either. They still have part time or jobs, and then they still do the refing. So yeah, it's a very difficult thing. So I can sit here on my soapbox and be like, we should play 12 games, but the reality is it's not fucking possible.
It's not possible.
Yeah. So it is rough. It is rough. We got love for the refs. Those maybe not the infrastructure, like the whole BAFRA bullshit, but I've got loves for the individuals who go out there, give up their weekends, fucking, and make sure we can have these games. So
I don't know. I feel like things will change over time. We just got to take time. It's just going to take time once again.
Refs get around 40 quid a day and get mileage if the round trip is over 75 miles. So they get fucking pittance.
That's not a lot,
shout out to those individuals that go out there and be refs each weekend so we can get our Britball games. 19-8. The South Wales. We never said the scoreline. So South Wales 19, Bournemouth 8. Sam P. Scott, I do hope you're healthy. And I hope you guys can sort of pick up your season from this. It is week 1. You've got 7 more games to turn around.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, we shall see.
Come September, will you be playing or will you be sitting in the stands watching the other teams play for?
He definitely won't. He definitely won't be sitting in the stands watching the other teams play. Even if they don't make playoffs, I can tell you right now, he's not going to fucking watch those games. Right.
Oh gosh! Right, Division 2.
We did Prem Talk first, David. We started with the Prem Talk. Only
because I travelled to the Cambridge Blitz game.
Yeah, because Micah was at the Blitz Cambridge game. So you'll have to go back to the start of the show if you're after the Prem Talk. Or wait until the end of the show when we do the Prem predictions.
We will probably do it again. Yeah. We're not that far away.
Mate, it's like a book. It's like a book. We start with the Prem and then it folds into the Div 1 and Div 2, and then we'll start the predictions with Div 2, Div 1, and we'll finish with the Prem. Yeah. Oh, I decided to throw my microphone away.
Right, so we got NFC 2 West. Ley Miners 23, Sandwell Steelers 25. Big game. And I expected the Steelers to win it, so
we both picked the Steelers, but I did not expect it to be this close.
No, not 2 points.
So disrespectful on my part to the Ley Miners. But
bloody game though. Jeez.
Yeah, 23-25. Mate, 2 Div 2 games separated by 2 points.
Yeah. And fair enough. One's a high scoring game, one's a low.
Yeah, 23-25 is a lot more exciting to watch than 9-7. We'll talk about that soon.
Miners with the second half shutouts.
Wow. Okay, so Steelers put up. I mean, the fact that they put up 25 in the first half, you should be a little bit ashamed.
Yeah.
But turning it around. No points conceded in the second half. Just get your first half to look like your second half, and you'll be fucking golden for the rest of the season.
Jeez, would expect anyone to outscore.
It's Kwame. Kwame's doing a play on words because he's choosing to spell the. Yeah, I'm just not indulging.
Yeah.
Thing. This is big for Lee because.
Yeah. Oh, so Ley Miners had commented on Insta 25-10 at halftime. Miners were on the march but ran out of time.
There we go. So need a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
And then we go. Sandwell's 25-game losing streak comes to an end. An LL Cool P special for you.
My gosh. Yeah, oh yeah, because they relegated twice, didn't they?
Yeah. So that's literally a losing season, like no wins in the Prem,
No wins in Division 1.
no wins in Division 1.
That can't be right. Hold up. That's not enough games.
No, it must have been two wins in the. I'm assuming 2 wins in the Prem, then no wins in the Prem.
Yeah, and
then no wins in Div 1, and then Div 2 they get their first.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
That's a long time. Jesus.
Props to the guys who stayed for the whole 25 games.
Hey, sometimes,
Mate,
from what I heard last year, is that there was a lot of players. From what I heard, they got a good setup. They've got a lot of players that want to play football. But
champagne showers to those players that remember the last victory and got to celebrate this one.
Yeah, 100%.
That's big ups.
Very big.
For Lee, there's a lot to build on from this. We've just been told, 23. What was it? 23-10 at halftime. Sorry, 25-10 at halftime.
Yes, 25-10
at halftime. Come back 13 points, scoring 13 points in the second half, and looking set to maybe even win the game. Just run out of time. So
yeah.
It's a lot to build on from them. They've got games against the Surge and the Wolverines coming up, and obviously the reverse fixture as well. So plenty of good takeaways for Lee. And I think they can be feeling confident that in the reverse fixture may go a completely different way.
COVID season 2021, won first 2, then lost 5. Okay, so that makes sense then. Understood.
Yeah. It's
only way is up.
This division is wide open. So there we go. We got some. So David's just mentioned there's a lot of rookies. Cal's mentioned that they're feeling great. So I'm not sure if that's Lee or if that's Stanwell.
I'm guessing it's Stanwell. I'm gonna go.
If it's Lee, you can still be feeling good though, because you're looking at that reverse fixture and you say, look, we scored 13 unanswered in the second half, and we were on our way to score even more. True. If we can just fix our first half issues, then So David's just said that Samwell. So Samwell's feeling great, and that's the other thing. Oh, see,
Lee.
They're both feeling great. Everybody's feeling great. Everybody's feeling great. Doesn't matter if you're from Samwell or from Lee.
Yes,
it's like whose lines anyway, where everything's made up and the points don't matter. Apart from if they do, you're now 1-0.
But to be fair, if you were driving in this before the halftime and you ran out of time, was that bad management of clock management? Then did you have any timeouts left to potentially get there? There's a lot of factors that could be going on.
Very true. It's I do hate hearing we ran out of time, and it's like, how?
Yeah, if you didn't have any timeouts, then understandable, or your players just didn't get out of bounds, and
or get spike the ball, get down, like.
So that is a question.
Something to build on. It's a coaching point.
It's also football knowledge. So again, your QB should have been able to understand that. Your players should understand that. If it's you got no timeouts, find yourself.
Your OC, your play calling. Yeah. You cannot be thrown over the middle of the field.
Get yourself out of bounds. Stop that clock. So you have time to drive down the field. If not, then running out of time, that's your fault.
But these are things that they can work on.
Exactly.
So it's not like it's from this perspective. You're like, it's all doom and gloom for them. A 2-point loss when they're marching, having held their opponent scoreless for the second half. A lot of positives for them to be able to build on and look forward to for the reverse fixture. So we'll move on to the Essex Tridents 9 and the Sussex Thunder 7.
I'm annoyed because I was going to go with the Tridents, but I went with the Thunder instead.
You did go with the Thunder. You actually had Thunder for promotion.
I did. So, talk about digging myself a little.
The newly formed Essex team. It's the photo behind Micah. Just I need to. Can we just hide Kwame from all?
Yeah,
comments?
I will.
Right. So, newly formed Essex team, based because the Spartans and the Sabres, East Essex Sabres, merged over the off-season, created the Tridents. Great
win.
First win. Yeah. As a newly formed club.
That win was definitely something that they needed, the confidence itself, and I'm guessing the players that were there beforehand, because I believe that the teams that one was a Division 1, one was a Division 2 team.
I think
so. The combination of the two, seems like his work is probably got to go in the right direction. So, yeah,
And they've got a winnable division as well. That's the thing. Now they've got to
They
play
do.
some out. They've got to play some out of division games.
And I think this was the out division game, if I'm correct.
Yes.
This was the out division game that they had to play.
Yeah, this was their out of division game, and then their division cohort, the Colchester Gladiator, also played an out of division game as well. As we'll touch on that in a minute. But yeah, you got to be feeling good. You've got the Cardinals and the Eagles in division with you. So there we go, Scott. Hey, Scott. So Scott has been a regular commenter with the Rundown for a good couple of years now. He was very important for the Essex Spartans organization, so I'm glad to see that he's still linked up with the Tridents organization. So 2 pick 6 chalked off for the Tridents. 13 weeks of hard work paid off. Great effort from Sussex. The rebuild looks promising.
Nice. Kind of always like that sort of situation.
Yeah, so Corn Bay, look at the power you have when you use fusion. I've heard a lot of promising things coming out of the formal region. Yeah, I've heard. So they had. I was told 70 odd. Well, not I was told. I saw a conversation where there was 70 odd people turned up for one of their preseason game. One of their associate games.
Hey.
Been told they're building something down in the Vanguard there, so it's something that we should take notice of as they make their way through their associate phase and moving into next season. I'll have to keep it in mind as a Div 2 team. Oh God, he's changed to YouTube. Right, so the other team from the SFC2 East Division there, Colchester Gladiators, start off their campaign with a 17-9 win over the Swindon Storm.
Expected. It was expected. It's not a shock. And it's a good win for them, especially with how their season started last year. Mm-hmm. That 0-0, that tie, that 0-0. God knows how the hell that happened last year. But again, they started off strong this year. Superb stat for the Glads, only conceded more than 10 points twice in the last 12 games. That's good.
Great. That's strong. That is absolutely strong. And I mean, it's when you say more than 10 points, does that mean that there's been a couple of times when they've conceded 10?
Well, they did last year.
Where are we at with 10 or more? So there we go. Yeah. The reason they didn't concede 10 or more is Swindon missed a PAT with 4 minutes left and then muffed a punt return on the next drive. So close game. It's good. Colchester is seen as coming into this as the sort of division favourites.
Yes.
But it's Swindon. It's a tough loss for them.
It is, but Swindon also are in a division that they
10-10 tie with the Sabres last year. It doesn't count.
Swindon are in a division that they could possibly.
I have, mate, that whole division. I look at that division and I just like, how we were talking about, about 45 minutes ago, talking about like the Div 1 divisions, about how they're all really tough.
Yeah, this one is
this one just seems like a bowl of sick.
It's whoever takes.
If Div 1 is the warmed up kebab after a night.
Don't say that.
Yeah, after a night out. No, actually, sorry. Div 1 is the hot.
Is the kebab?
Is the fresh kebab on the night out. And this division is the cold congealed cheese kebab that you find lying on your pillow at 8 o'clock in the morning when you got dry mouth and.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. It's a great win for the Gladiators. It is. Gladiators had a passing TD, muff punt touchdown, 1 for 3.
1 for 3 on field goals. Get a new kicker.
Yeah. That should not be the case.
Special teams is 1/3 of the game. It's just as important.
And
that is something they used to rile Steve up about. We would have fights over that.
And that, oddly enough, that is it for the week 1 games.
That is the week 1 games. Should we just jump straight into the preview? I haven't really got.
I've got it up.
Yeah, no, I was more going to say I haven't really got anything that I wanted to. I mean, we started with usually what we would go is we'd go review, then filler, then preview. But we went for
Yeah.
the filler at the start because you've been traveling.
Yeah.
So
Like we could do the filler next week in the middle, but I feel like it'll be easier to do that at the beginning.
we are not, Josh. We do not cover youth football. Just because I tend to say bad things about people if I don't think their team's doing well, and I do not want to say bad things about kids. Like it's they're just they're young, they're impressionable, they're playing the game, so we stay away from youth football.
Oh, Aaron's waiting for your weather update, so I'll let you.
Mate, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I can't even remember what the fucking weather interlude is supposed to be. Like, it's just is it? Aaron, are we supposed to talk about how the weather is where I am, or are we supposed to talk about game? Like, what is this weather interlude? I don't remember. I've erased Steve from my mind, so I don't remember any of the things that we used to do together.
So
it's like an ex I've had to get over.
Oh,
Mike is my new hotness.
Yeah. Let's go.
He's feeling himself. Darlington being waterlogged. Right. Okay.
Were they meant to play last week?
No. Last year they moved a game or cancelled a game because of weather. I remember now. And yeah, Adam's right. Adam's
it's Britain.
Yes, Adam. It's Britain. The weather is shit. Move on.
Yeah.
I actually it's I remember that now. I was quite
PO about it.
I wasn't too kind to Darlington about how I thought I approached it because they moved their fucking game because of the weather.
Well, luckily the weather was fantastic this weekend, so
mate, we had some very good weather, yeah.
And the weather's meant to be good this weekend coming up as well. So hey,
no waterlogged fields. Let's go.
All right.
All right, where we start? We start with
Division 2 West. We have Swindon Storm versus Cornwall Monarchs. And it's at Swindon Storm.
I know they just lost. I'm taking the Storm.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna counteract. I'm gonna go Monarchs this week. I'll go Monarchs. I'm probably gonna regret it.
Well, okay. Do you want to know how we did last week?
We did a lot doubles, didn't we? How did we do last week?
So last week I went 12-5.
Oh, I went bad
for a 17 game breakdown. I went 12-5. You went 9-8. So you still went positive. Yeah, still at a.
I'm gonna go. All right. I'm gonna go Swindon Storm. Screw it.
Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna go
Storm. He's scared.
Until week 3, week 4, after their fourth game, I'll be able to tell what Division 2.
Yeah, that's it, mate. As Aaron mentioned earlier on, that we are glory hunters. We wait until week 4 before we change our opinions. You have to go forward.
Division 2 East, we have Ouse Valley versus Ipswich Cardinals at Ouse Valley.
Right. Oh. I had a chat with a very, very brief chat with one of the guys associated with Ouse Valley, and he felt that they're in for a promising season. So I'm going to believe in him. I'm going to take the Eagles.
I'm going to take Cardinals.
Yay!
I'm going to take Cardinals in that one.
I mean, even if I hadn't had that chat, I still would have picked the Eagles because I have a vendetta against the Cardinals ever since they had a whinge about something I said back in like 2021 or 2022.
Oh God, fair enough.
Like me and Steve essentially we did this, picked against them, and then they came out on all their fucking socials and screenshotted the fact we picked against them, and yeah.
Oh God. All right, we have the newly formed Tridents, the 1-1 Trident, the 1-0
Trident. How dare you? How dare you?
Versus the 1-0 Colchester Gladiators at East Kent Trident. Okay. I'm going Gladiators.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was getting ready to clap you because you were like, the 1-1 Tridents. I was going to be like, hell no, they're going to be 2-0, but they're playing Colchester, and I do think Colchester's a good outfit. So no, I'm going to take the Gladiators as well.
All right.
I'm sorry, Essex. I hope you do. I hope you have a good game. I hope you play well, but I think Colchester is just probably the best team in that division at the moment.
Now, NFC North 2 West, Staffordshire Surge. the Wolverines at Surge. Oh, it is. And they haven't played yet, have they, at all? So this is their season opener. I'm personally gonna go Wolverines.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Wolverines on this one.
So just on the last game, very quickly, 3 games ago, Russ just mentioned that Swindon is literally the closest game for the Monarchs. It's true. It is. Like they and it's still a good couple hour drive up to Swindon from Cornwall. And even they're out of division in division games are not close. So yeah, I'll be honest. I'm probably going to be picking a winless season for Cornwall. Right, so we've gone the Surge and the Wolverines. It's in Staffordshire.
Yeah.
And you're taking the Wolverines.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Wolverines on this one.
Okay. The Wolverines are a very hot and cold team in my eyes. Based on last season.
Yeah.
Based on last season and the season before, actually. I'm taking the Surge. I'm taking the laundry detergent. Give me the laundry detergent.
Okay. Oh, I need to catch up. Even though it's
only
week one.
This is giving you a chance to catch up. If you just pick the same as me, you'll never catch up. But if we pick opposite ones, it gives me a chance to be wrong. You do you're right, and you're only 3 behind at the moment. It's only week 1. I'm on 12. I'm 12-5. You're 9-8. So
right.
Like, at this point in time, if we were an NFL franchise, I'm probably playing for a 1 or 2 seed. I'm playing for the bye, and you're a wild card.
For the 7th.
You're a wild card. Yeah. You're still in the playoffs.
NFC 2 East, Doncaster Mustangs versus Gateshead Senators, and it's at Mustangs.
It's in Donny. It's not too far of a drive. Like Gateshead to Donny is about 2 hours. So it's not too bad.
Recruitment has been.
2 o'clock kickoff.
AL Senators, you best show up for me this week, you know.
Are you picking Gateshead?
Yeah, I'm picking Gateshead.
Yeah, I'm taking Gateshead. I'm taking Gateshead. Yeah, it's I just at the moment. I mean, I've been hashtag pray for Donny for about 3 years. After I just saw them, oh mate, like they were just used as a punching bag for like 2 straight seasons.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Right, we have
same division.
Yep, Darlington Steam versus Lincolnshire Bombers, and it's at Steam.
It's in Darlington. So it's a little bit of a journey from Lincolnshire up to Darlington. Again, a good couple of hours, maybe 2.5.
But I think them Bombers are going to drop some bombs on the Steam on the weekend.
You picking the Bombers?
I'm gonna go Bombers. I feel like I'm very away team heavy so far.
Yeah, you're picking the Road Warriors, are you? You're picking the Road Warriors.
I'm very away team heavy, and it's actually kind of crazy.
Okay, well that could continue as we move into the next couple of games as well. But
it probably will.
I'm going to take the Bombers. I'm going to take the Bombers for this one, and because we haven't seen Darlington this season. I shat on them last year. I was not a fan of them in any way, shape, or form last year. The way that they went through about cancelling the weather game and everything else. So, but I will give them. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. If they come out and perform strong in this week, then I will definitely be recalibrating it for future weeks. But at the moment, I'm going to stick with what I know, and I'm going to pick the Bombers against possibly my better judgment.
Okay, right. Back up to Division 1. Division 1 West. We have Somerset Wyverns versus South Wales Wyverns versus South Wales Warriors. Oh, see, I don't feel that the
the question is, are you going to do a knee-jerk reaction? Is the question.
I think I was going to. And I was actually going to take the home team. Issue is, South Wales, they could be hot and cold as well. And Somerset did just take a beating by the.
Well, that's what the knee-jerk reaction would be. Somerset just took a 35-0 beating, and South Wales just won.
Yeah, I know, and I still don't know. Nah, I'm gonna stick with the away team.
You're taking the Wyverns?
Yeah, the Warriors. No, I'm taking the Warriors at home, away.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
At the Wyverns.
I'm joining you.
Yeah.
I think that this week was a wake up call for Somerset.
Yeah.
They've been promoted up to Div 1 from Div 2. And South Wales has been, Div 1 for a while. And I think that it was a bit of a wake up call against Bristol. And
They
actually,
didn't
they played Bristol, didn't they? They did. They played
yeah,
Bristol.
they
I think it was a wake up call against Bristol. I think South Wales beating Bournemouth, even if it was 11 points. It's a strong outing. And I'm taking South Wales.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the knee-jerk reaction. We saw one team get smashed by 35 and another team beat a team that we didn't think they were going to win. And we flipped it. And we're going, right, the team that won's going to win and the team that lost is going to lose.
And somehow we're probably going to be disappointed.
And that is the deep of our analysis. The team that lost is going to lose again. And the team that won is going to win again. That is as deep as our analysis goes, folks. So if you don't like that, fucking sue me.
Hereford Stampede versus Bristol Apache at Stampede. It's Apache.
It's the away team. Yeah, continue the away team.
The away team again. It is the Apache.
And I think this could be a bit of a bloodbath.
A very big score.
I think
maybe 50.
I was literally going to say I think we could be staring down our first 50 burger.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't there a 50 burger this week?
No, we've had no 50 burger.
There really wasn't. No.
It's the highest scoring team
was 47. Well, it was
45.
45.
Yeah,
Blitz B. Yeah. Wow.
I think we can be staring down a 50 burger.
100. Right. Up to Division 1 Central. We have Rushmore Knights versus the Wembley Stallions at Rushmore Knights. I like the Stallions, but they've not been able to perform. Last year they haven't been able to perform as much as I'd expect them to. So I am going with the Knights to win.
They're so wishy-washy. So wishy-washy. I said earlier on the show that I thought that Rushmore could run the table.
Yeah.
Run the table, go 8-0. And I'm gonna pick them against I've just decided to open the settings instead of actually type. Yeah,
it'll be Rushmore. They should win this game. Depending on what athletes Wembley Stallions have picked up from the scraps that's
the thing. Has there been an exodus from other London teams that may have trickle down effect into the Stallions? Yeah,
exactly. Sure. That's a good question. But we move on to the Division 1 East. Norwich Devils versus London Olympians. Jesus, this really feels weird not being in the same division as the Stallions or the chaps from down the road this year.
So Jake's with the Bastard Bees. I don't know if you know Jake.
Yeah.
Because obviously same organization from last season. So
yeah, I know him, but yeah, it probably does feel weird. But this one, the Devils aren't gonna win if they've lost all their players. It's going to be Olympians that are probably
also the players.
Run it.
All the players that have remained are injured, apparently.
Yeah. So it will be Olympians to run it.
I am the Olympians hater. But I've sort of leaned into that.
So you're going to go Devils then?
I'm not. No, because I want to win the picks competition. So no, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not going to.
That would have been fun if you did.
It would have been, but I would have been so very, very wrong.
Stupid, yes. Mavericks versus Blitz B at East Kent Mavericks. Now, this will probably be a closer game than expected. I'm not going with the away team. I am going to. You're
not going to be a prisoner at the moment.
No. I am going to go with the East Kent Mavericks for this one.
Okay.
The travel alone is a 2.5 hour travel from central London all the way over to East Kent anyway. Well, it is from where I'm at. So it'll probably be about 3 hours from Finsbury Park to East Kent anyway. So that's a long tiring journey regardless.
The thing with the Bees, right? The thing I've noticed with the Bees is they love to win when they shouldn't.
That's true. That is true.
like,
That is
like
true.
they love pulling a win out of their ass that they really that shouldn't have been their win.
But then it will go against what I said last week in that the East Kent Mavericks will run the table. So
oh yeah, no, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm literally just providing things for discourse.
Yeah, it's going to be probably a close game. I'm not going to deny
Okay,
that.
on paper it should be a close game. I don't
But
know if it
will
will.
it?
I
Yeah.
don't know if it will. On paper, it's based on week one results. This should be a close game, but I just don't know if it will be. Right, just for Kwame's questioning, cat report. This is Luigi. This is cat number 3. He's the newest one. He's still classified as a kitten. Hello, mate. He's only 6 months old, so he's a little arsehole, is what he is. He's called Luigi because he's got a mustache.
Oh, good.
Yeah, on paper it should be a good game. I just don't know if it will be. And I am going to pick the Mavs.
Yeah, makes it. Yeah,
but they just mate those bees. Sell beer on site, and the Blitz bees are 4-1.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's just they love winning games they have no business winning. But I just don't know if this is going to be one of them. NFC 1 Midlands.
We have Birmingham Bulls versus Shropshire Revolution.
So the Bulls obviously coming off the loss to Nottingham, 20-8, and the Revs coming off the win. 14. No, sorry, the loss. No, they didn't win. I take it back. Revs are also coming off a loss, 14-0 to North Ents.
But Birmingham Bulls had a better showing
against the presumed division winners.
Yeah, I'm going Bulls.
I'm going Bulls.
Because having six picks and you stop them twice on in the red zone at the goal.
They picked you off 6 times and you still managed to get 2 goal line stands. It's not just that. I think Shropshire in their first season, they just got promoted last year. I'm pretty sure. First season up. I just think they might have the regular struggles where you'll find a lot of teams might go up and then down the following season. Yeah. I don't know if it'll be them that go down, but it will be a
tough challenge.
They'll definitely be in that battle to stay afloat. Yeah,
definitely a big tough challenge. We've got the NFC 1 North. We have Scunthorpe Alphas versus Sheffield Giants. I'm going Alphas.
Same. Absolutely.
I don't think the Giants are gonna have enough. I think that they're one of the favorites to potentially go down against with Revolutions being in that fight. So I think that will just be there for a while.
Yeah, it's. I think the main sort of thing for me is like they faced their sort of toughest opponent or closest opponent. Sorry, I should say. This week just been with Humber.
Yeah,
this is a team for Sheffield that you would assume would probably be closest to them at the moment. Tough match. They did lose it. Scunthorpe have been, they were in the Prem battle, like they were in the fight for promotion last year. They are a class outfit. They've done everything the right way in building up the club. So yeah, I think this will be a good win for Scunthorpe. I don't know if it'd be a massive win, but I think it'll be a convincing win.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It would probably be very convincing. If they've still got the players that they had last year, because again, the reason why they didn't make playoffs because they lost to Caesars.
Newcastle.
No, they lost to Caesars, and then
Caesars
lost to Newcastle in the promotion game. So, yeah, I think Scunthorpe should take that win easily.
Romans versus the Humber Warhawks. Oh, are we prisoners of the moment with Humber? We haven't seen Chester this season.
No, but from what I heard, is that Chester lost players to Titans,
right?
As well. They lost O lineman, one of their main running backs, and one of their main receivers. So again, unless they've recouped their player in rookie players or players that had been there before, it's a hard one.
This kind of feels like old faith, like old reliable versus shiny new toy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with the shiny new toy.
You're taking the shiny new toy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Warhawks.
I think
I'll
I'm
go
gonna
with
take.
the Warhawks.
I'm gonna take old reliable. I'm
Ooh,
taking the
yeah.
rope. I said that before that came through. I said that before that came through. I said it before we were told that. I just want that known for the record.
Yeah, you did. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm picking the Romans. I think they were a good team last year who had the possibility to be a great team, and they lost a couple of close games and were unlucky in a couple others. So I think they do win this one. Yeah.
Come on, shiny new toy. Come on, shiny new toy. All right, we go to Scottish. Well, we go to Division 1 Scotland, or
whatever the fuck it's called.
We go Stags versus Goliaths.
So Goliaths haven't played at all this season yet. The Stags just lost to Clyde Valley.
I'm gonna go. And
I'm testing your very limited knowledge of Scottish ball here, Micah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Stags.
Yeah, Stags at home. It's a long journey up the A9. We spoke about that earlier on.
Yeah.
I'm taking Highland. They battered Inverclyde last year, and I'm hoping that this was just a hiccup this past week against Clyde Valley. Now, obviously, if players from Edinburgh and everything have moved over from Clyde Valley, then that's not really just a hiccup. That is, Clyde Valley is a great outfit now, strong players. But I've met the Highland guys personally, some of the guys that run the organization, not the players, just some of the guys who are quite well involved with the organization. I've seen what they have in their setup and everything. So I got a lot of love for Highland. So I'm probably just going to keep picking them just because that's what I do. Huh. So even if they lose this one, I'll pick them again the following week. So Highland, help me out.
Highlands for both. Let's go. Right. So the game I will be at this weekend.
2 games left.
3 games left.
Oh, is it 18 games this week?
Yes, 18 games, yes.
Oh, okay.
We have 3 games left. Premiership South, Cambridge Cats versus Bristol Aztecs at Cambridge Cats. Obviously I'm at this game, but I am going with the Aztecs. You're
going to be doing some photography?
Yes.
Cool,
and
cool.
I will be taking over Sports Tank's Instagram page as well with live updates on the Sport Tank page as well.
Ooh, Instagram takeover. All right,
yes.
All right. I feel that.
Yeah, I feel that Cambridge Cats, regardless of how big their win was this week against a team that I don't feel that everything is all in place and it's only won by 6, I think Aztecs should win it. So yeah.
Gary, you're not allowed over the Cambridge side of the pitch. Don't you go walking.
Oh my gosh.
You've been with them for a week and they've already said we don't want you back.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going with what I see and look at, so sue me.
I'm taking the Aztecs purely because I still believe they are a top 2 team in the South. I mean, I argued with Steve last year about whether they were the top team or the second team. And at this point in time, I think you can still argue that point. And I don't really know if there's much that can be taken away from a 25-0 loss to a foreign opponent.
Yeah.
I generally notice that, teams in Europe are stronger than British teams. Is what it just seems to be like. I'm not trying to slight Britball. Like I'm part of Britball in a way, but it tends to be that like European teams generally appear to be stronger than British teams. I don't know if they are, but that's just based on results and our British teams' performance in Europe whenever the top team makes it, and we'll see if the Titans can buck that trend or not. But yeah. In a roundabout way, what I'm trying to say is I still think the Aztecs are a very good team, and I think they're going to win this week.
Yeah. So Aztecs it is for me. I didn't desert anyone. I'm just going with what I feel is the right solution.
No, because he's saying you're going to be on the. He says you're going to be working with Bristol, so you're deserting. The Cats.
I work with no one. I work for me.
Not for With.
With. So we have the Premiership North, Newcastle Vikings versus East Kilbride Pirates at
Mate,
Newcastle Vikings. Now
I
this is
think this is going to be a banger. I think this is going to be a banger.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough game. I think it might be a high-scoring game, if I'm going to be honest.
Well, I mean, EKP, fucking put the shits.
They
up Merseyside.
They said that we are here and we are here to play. But can I take away from the players that Newcastle Vikings have come in that has probably bolstered that offensive side of the ball?
Mate, the Durham superstar tandem.
Yeah, and I saw what they did against. Ooh. Stay neutral is difficult.
This is why I don't stay neutral, and I am opinionated, and I pick a side every single time. Fuck staying neutral. I'm gonna piss somebody off.
I'm gonna go Pirates because I think the Pirates will be the second best team in the North.
Mate, I think EKP are a great side, and I was really, really. I was about to take them as well because I thought you were going to take Newcastle.
No, I think they are going to be the second best team in the North.
You know what? Fuck it. Newcastle's my local. I'm gonna run with the local. I'm gonna run with the local.
Are you gonna go to the game? It's a 4 p.m. kickoff.
Man, it's like a 7 o'clock finish.
Yeah,
maybe. I won't promise. I might. I will.
Consider it.
Yeah, it's I won't commit to it, but I think I might. And
then
I'm going to take the Vikings. I'm going to pick the Vikings.
Okay, and then we have the final game: Merseyside Nighthawks versus Edinburgh Wolves.
Oh, okay. So the EKP DC was the Vikings head coach last year, so it could be very, very spicy. God damn.
Oh, damn. Okay. Yes. Lovely stuff.
Mate, that is. Oh no, actually, I remember hearing about this because it was something to do with the travel is why he changed because he'd been traveling from Scotland down to Newcastle.
But then EKP got a new head coach and okay, makes
sense. Because I was like, why would you get your team promoted and then leave?
Yeah.
Because you're the head coach that got them promoted. But yeah, it's I think I remember somebody saying last season that he had been traveling down from Scotland for each week for trainings and everything like that, and he's Scotland based.
Bloody hell.
Again, someone will I'm sure Tom will correct me if I'm wrong, but
damn.
Merseyside, Edinburgh. This is not a case of who wins, but by how much.
How much? Wolves actually we might have 2 burgers, 50 burgers.
You calling a 50? You calling a 50?
We might have 2 50s this week. I think Wolves will probably just do it.
Hey, I saw one game last year, Russ. I went to Edinburgh. I went to Edinburgh Warriors. I went to the Wolves Warriors playoff game. I didn't see a regular season game, but I saw.
It's definitely gonna be Edinburgh Wolves versus Edinburgh Wolves to win this one.
Edinburgh Wolves versus the running clock to see what the crack is. Are you picking a 50?
I'm gonna pick a 50. Wolves by 50.
Right. I reckon Wolves by 35 purely because EKP couldn't put 50 on Merseyside, and I think EKP might be a better team than Edinburgh based on how they look.
Got a point. Fair. That's fair enough. Okay, so I want us to do a special one this week.
All right.
So obviously we all know that Manchester are playing in Sweden this weekend. So Stockholm Mean Machines or Manchester Titans?
Okay. Are you throwing it to me? To be the one to Oh.
Yeah.
Shit. Usually I can just jump on the back of what you say and just either prove you're talk shit and right. Okay. The best team that the UK has to offer, club-wise.
Yes.
Club-wise. Or a random team, random Sweetie boys.
Let's see if I can find out if they've played any games already. Let me see if I can
No, don't tell me that. That'll sway my decision.
Okay.
You know what? I'm foreign. I'm gonna pick the foreigners.
Oh,
I'm gonna take the meme machine. I'm probably gonna be wrong, and no one from Sweden is ever gonna see this show, so no one from Sweden can be like, "Oh, yes, oh, Oz, he picked us. Big summer blowout." And then the people from Manchester do watch the show. Like, there's like 2 of them because I'm pretty sure one of the Manchester guys has got his own show. They'll be like, "Fuck this! We're never watching this again. You picked against us. We beat the shit out of those Swedish bastards. You were wrong, Oz. Get fucked. We're taking our viewership somewhere else."
that's fair.
But yeah, I'm taking the meme machine. I'm a
Okay.
traitor to the motherland, I guess.
Well, this
fucking
isn't really
Commonwealth.
It's not, yeah, nah.
I mean, well, yeah, but you know, my king is your king. Well, you know, my queen was your queen, sort of thing. Like,
Yeah,
colonial.
true. So far, they beat obviously one of the big teams in Sweden, Oreo Black Knights.
The meme machine.
Yeah.
And again, I made my predictions before.
Yeah, you made your predictions. This one is it? Would it be on TV? No, maybe not. I like Manchester Titans, but I've never seen them play in Europe. The travel across to Sweden is long. If they're not catching the plane, that coach journey will be a big.
Can you take a coach journey to Sweden?
Yeah, it's connected. It's not like it's
no. But what I mean is like is it viable? Not like can it physically be done, but more like can you fucking because
Manchester to Stockholm.
Stockholm's on the other side of Sweden. Like it's not the it's not the inland side. It's the coastal side, and you would have to drive. You'd have to drive up through Denmark.
26 hours. Yeah, it's a very long journey, actually.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody's taking a fucking coach to Stockholm.
Hey,
I mean, maybe they get fucking the Apache are taking the Apache are taking.
I didn't know that.
No, I think it's more the fact that we mentioned the Apache were going to win. I think Charlie's on a 25-minute delay. I don't think anybody's taking a fucking coach to Stockholm. No. I think they'll be flying.
You know what? I'm not. I'll probably. I'll probably go with. This one doesn't really count to our points thing anyway.
Oh, it will. It'll be.
It will. Okay.
No. Like. It won't even. The thing is, like, it won't even go on the graphic. Like nobody else will be picking the.
So the thing is, if Titans win, they're gonna have to play the Flash, and they'll probably lose against the Flash anyway.
I mean, we can make it interesting ourselves. We can wager a fucking 3rd round pick swap or some shit.
Yeah. Ooh. All I've got is 3rd round picks. So
that's what I mean. All I got 301. I got 301. So I'm offering up the big one.
What the hell?
That's just an empty block. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
I'll
probably say it'll probably be Meme Machines.
Is that your official take?
Nah, I'm gonna go Titans.
Official take is Titans. Okay.
Yeah, I'll back the English team.
Good man. Good man. Yeah, patriotism and all that.
I don't really care for that, but yeah.
All right. So that pretty much covers it off. That is our predictions for this coming week. Micah will be at the Cats game.
Yes.
I might be at the Vikings game. So if you see me there, and you're a Viking supporter, or if you see me there and you're an East Kent supporter, and if your team's, whatever, if the team that you support is the team that I picked against, mind your business. I'm just there to. Don't come say hi to me. Don't rub it in my face. I don't want to see you.
I already got. What was it?
You've been disowned by Cambridge.
Oh, I already got shouted at last week.
Did you?
Well, the first thing I heard, as soon as I walked to the field, I heard, "Hey, Michael, you picked against us, yeah?" I was like,
because you picked the Blitz. Yeah, you picked the Blitz.
I was like, it is what it is, but in a sense, I'm still right.
No, you weren't. You were wrong. You picked wrong.
With my power rankings, I was still right.
Oh, no one knows. Your power rankings don't mean shit. Your power rankings don't mean shit. I thought you were going to have those finished for this week, and we were going to talk about it.
Oh fuck yeah! Because we did it last week. Yeah.
Are you going to finish? Are these going to be a weekly thing that you're going to be doing? Are you going to be updating them weekly?
I will do it weekly.
All right, I'll chase you on Sunday after the game. Sunday night, Monday morning.
I'll do it. Yeah, I will
have it ready for next week's show, because that will be. Because we can start with that, and then we can put our filler in the middle, or we can start with your trip, and then we can put a power ranking filler in the middle before we go into the predictions. Okay. That's pretty much going to cover. Yeah, he hasn't even. I'm not paying him. Fuck that. That's pretty much going to cover us off for the this week's show. Like I said, Mike is going to be at the Cambridge Cats game. He's going to be on the Sportank Instagram as well. So go up, say hi, buy him a beer. I don't know if he drinks.
They don't have a beer. They don't have any shops close by.
There'll be a Tesco. Someone buy him a beer. Get him I might be at the Newcastle game. I can't promise it. It depends on whether the missus is willing to go with me or not. Apart from that, we are the rundown. This has been week 1. If you missed the talk of the week 1 reaction to the scores and everything, go back, started the show. We covered that off right at the start. Predictions here at the end, and we will be back next week and for every other week until the fucking season ends. I'm Oz.
I'm Micah.